As women, sometimes we have to start over. Our next guest knows this all too well. Stay tuned for more Every Way Woman.
Welcome back to Every Way Woman. So we celebrate the trailblazers, and today we welcome Robin to the show, a woman who has truly perfected the art of redefining herself and restarting at any age. Welcome. So I really want to talk to you about what it was like to reinvent yourself.
I think at the time you don't think about it, or you shouldn't think too closely about it. You just do what seems natural. You follow whatever path is sort of outlined for you without trying to take too much control.
So let's rewind back to what your path was. Let's talk about the crossroads you were at in your life.
Okay, I was a prison guard in male maximum security.
You are a tough blonde.
Which I am, a tough cookie. Which you find you don't want to do for your entire life, or I didn't.
No, of course.
And I thought it would be fun to write. So I was trying to think how I could get into advertising from prison guarding, and it's not sort of one of those natural career paths. So I got a job with a temporary office service that sent people in when somebody was sick.
So you worked your way through this transition, but were you scared?
No, I wasn't, because at that time I was fairly young and I didn't think much about it.
Okay.
So I worked for this service, and I only went to advertising agencies and sort of got to know it gently, you know, by being at the office.
And this wasn't the first time you've restarted or reinvented. I mean, you fast forwarded a couple times, even as a mother. Your children grew out of the nest. Now you have to reinvent yourself, not as a mother, but as a woman again, as Robin.
That's true. And that took a little more thought, because you're used to being Jesse's mom or Robert's mom, and suddenly you're Robin again. And you're not quite sure how to do that anymore. It's been a while. So I think the biggest thing is to talk to other women, and to talk to everybody, really.
And that's why you're here.
That's why I'm here.
Okay.
There's women here.
Yes.
And, you know, other women are so smart, and they always seem to know different things from you. And so you get to know, you know, you get
But don't
ideas.
you feel like some women are afraid to ask?
I think they are, and I think that's a mistake. Women love to talk, or any woman I know loves to talk.
I like to talk.
I mean, at the grocery store, wherever you are, at school, picking up your kids, if that's what you're doing, talk to the other women. Talk to everybody.
At that time when you were transitioning your life and you said that you have to talk to other women, what was one thing that someone told you that still sticks with you today?
Well, when I was finally got my green card down here, and I'd been out of advertising long enough that wasn't going to work for me anymore, another woman at the school said, I think Americans hiring flight attendants. Why don't you try that?
Oh, yeah.
And
How
I thought,
old were you at this point, if you don't mind sharing?
I was 45 when I started to be a flight attendant.
Wow.
And I wasn't the
most
oldest.
people would consider that, you know, maybe even too late in life to restart a career.
A little long in the tooth. But flight attendants aren't quite what we used to picture them, you know, when you were weighed every day and you had to be single and all that kind of thing.
You know, it's really interesting, though, because at 45, you were willing to step into a position where it was off. It was adventure time. You weren't staying at home anymore. You were all over the world.
And that was part of it, that I think you have to look on life as an adventure. Every decision you make is an adventure. And I think you have to realize nothing is final. If I'd become a flight attendant and I loathed it, I would have quit and found something I liked better. Because we're allowed to do that. We can find what makes us happy, but not if we're afraid to make a jump ever.
You know, I even find in my life, as I'm approaching, you know, my later 20s.
Oh my God.
I know. But I'm almost afraid to make that choice or make that decision and say, you know what, maybe the decision I made when I was in my younger 20s isn't going to work for me in my 30s. And being okay with that and settling with that, I almost feel like I'm letting myself down.
There's very few decisions you can make that are going to be final, where you can change your mind. You can go back and try something else. And I think that's the biggest lesson to learn. Don't be afraid of taking a jump into the unknown just because you're afraid that you're never going to be able to fix it if it's wrong.
But were you afraid?
I don't think so, no.
No?
I don't think I was afraid. Nervous, maybe.
Nervous, yeah. That's fair.
Yeah, but not
makes sense.
afraid because, you know, I have friends, I have a family. if it didn't work out, I would have to try something
So,
else. That's all.
You know what? I have a question. I know someone who is in her 50s and she's very close to me. And, you know, her kids are all done with school, they have jobs, they have their own families, they're out of the house. And it's just this woman and her husband. But they're even having problems now within their marriage. And I think it's because, and tell me what your thoughts are on this, I think it's because she is almost depressed about her life right now. She's in this bubble where she's like, what next? What now?
Mhm.
My kids are gone, they have their own lives, is my life over? Did you ever feel like that, or can you relate to that?
Because I was working when my
Mhm.
kids left home, and you know,
But what would
they
you
haven't
say
left
to that
my life.
woman?
They're
What would
still
you say to
very
her?
active in my life. I think first of all, get a dog. Second
Yes.
of all, maybe go back to school. Find something. Follow her passion. Don't look for something where you can make a lot of money, or just something that'll make her happy. What am I interested in? Oh, I'm interested in art. I'll go to art school for a while. You know, something like that. Just
Well, thank you
something
for
to
find
inspiring us and for
Yes.
inspiring all of you out there. We'll be right back with more Every Way Woman. Stay tuned.